I will tell you some case studies, something about kind of conventional technology. I call conventional technology the non-AI technology, because today everything is about AI. But I will speak about some normal technology we use and some use of AI in archaeology. Only some examples, because there are a huge amount of articles, literature, everything about the usage of AI in archaeology. And I try to collect some good practices, some case studies from my work, from our excavation, which is in another legionary fortress. I came from Budapest, of course, from the university, but we are working in Brigáció, which is here. So now we are here in Brigáció, very close to a legionary fortress, and that's another legionary fortress on the same border, the same ripa, and we are excavating there since the 90s. So just really some pictures about the excavation, some slides. This is a settlement. We have a legionary fortress, we have a military town, we have a civil town, cemeteries, pottery workshops, but the systematic excavation started only in 1992. That's why new technologies are very important for us, because we have no large surfaces excavated like in Rome or in other sites, not even like in Brigáció. So we have only very small parts excavated, and we need to use modern technology to discover the settlement structure, to provide something for the local museum to show our works. So of course we made some excavation in the civil town. We found a lot of Roman houses. We have some reconstructions of these houses by our colleagues or architects. We did some excavations in the military town as well. Some pictures of one of our last excavations in 2020. We found a Roman cellar with very nice wall paintings. And the last 7 years we worked in the legionary fortress. Some pictures of the excavation of the military bath, the thermae, huge buildings. The thermae itself is more than 6,000 square meters large. We made a lot of excavations there. So this is a site, but it was only just to introduce you to have an impression where we are working. So I try to categorize the usage of technology. The life cycle of an archaeologist has 3 stages: before excavation, during excavation, and after excavation. Sometimes it's only the middle, during excavation, because we are constantly excavating, but normally we have these 3 work stages, and all in these stages we can use technology. And why? So the purpose of using technology is when it's time for dissemination, when we want to present our research in a museum exhibition, in a web page, an application, in a newspaper, anywhere. We need data. We need a lot of data. We need good data. We need fancy data, visible data, everything. And usually when we want to do an exhibition, or we want to do a project and we have a contract with a company or something, and we say, okay, we would like to do something, and they ask us archaeologists, okay, so please provide us some maps, some plans, some 3D reconstructions, some videos, and we can do this. And that's the nightmare for archaeologists, because usually we have documentation on paper, we have some very poor quality things, and that's why it's very important to use more and more digital tools, and all our documentation should be digitalized, should be in digital from digital platform, and provide very, very good material for the colleagues who can make this dissemination work, the storytelling, the visualization of our work. I would like to show some examples which can provide these material better with the use of technology. So first, before excavation. Before excavation, the most important thing when we can use technology is site detection, which means we have a lot of tools which help us find new sites, or if we also already have a site, find new features on the site, or give us more information about our site. And we have a lot of different technologies. I tried to pick the three most important technologies: aerial photography, the so-called LiDAR, and the ground penetrating radar system. The first one, aerial photography, is the oldest one. I show you a picture which is an explanation how it works. It's not like we are just flying with a plane and shooting photos. It's about crop marks, about the structures under the earth. So it works like vegetation needs water, needs nutrition to grow. And if there's, for example, a prehistoric or a Roman ditch under the ground filled with earth, with a lot of nutrition material, with a lot of humidity, the crop will grow higher. If there's a stone wall, so you can see the amount of earth here and here, there's not enough nutrition, not enough water, not enough humidity, and the crop will grow not that high. So when you walk in a field, you cannot recognize anything of that. But if you are in a plane or if you fly with a drone, you can see these crop marks. It's an example from our side, from Brigetio. It's in a field, and you can see even the rooms of the buildings without excavation. And if you are lucky, you can make maps of whole settlements, not only buildings but even rooms, if there are very, very good walls, very massive walls, relatively close to the surface, without any excavation. It's very important because excavation is very, very, very expensive and takes a lot of time. The most expensive kind of archaeological work is excavation because it needs a lot of human resource. If you do some so-called non-destructive method, aerial photography and so on, you can do a lot of mapping without an excavation in some days or some weeks, and you can provide maps and a lot of information, for example, for a project, for a museum exhibition, without the use of a lot of money and a lot of work. So we had this aerial photograph of a building in Brigetio, and after we did the excavation, first we had to remove the vegetation, and after the excavation you can see the same structure here. So that was the aerial photo, and these are the walls. So, and after turned out that, I won't tell you the whole story, but most probably this is a building where one of the Roman emperors, Valentinian I, died during a meeting with barbarian envoys. So we cannot prove it, but 90%. So it's a historic place, and it's a very, very good story. So we started to create a project about that, and we planned a visitor center there. Now we have almost lack of funding, so we try to find some money, but we have the plans to build a visitor center next to that building, to tell the whole story of the emperor there, meeting with the barbarians, dying there, and so on. And all this story started with an aerial photograph without any excavation, not anything, just one photo. And after we started the project, and if we will have money, we will have a visitor center with a very good story of a dying emperor. So that's one good example why we should use technology, and what could be the outcome of these works. The second example is the LiDAR. I don't have a case study from Brigetio because it's a bit more expensive.
So visitor journey mapping is a method to analyze visitor experience. Why we are using it? Because it helps us to understand visitors' path. So what are some touch points, or how visitor or our persona get in touch with our museum or our heritage site, what they are doing during their visit in our building or on our site, and what happened with them after their visit. This method also reveals some pain points, maybe some challenges that we are facing in the museum, or some problems, but also it shows us opportunities to create or to improve the experience, to maybe renovate some signs for the orientation in the museum, or maybe to renovate the website or add some other functionalities to make a better experience for the visitors. So if I return to our Janez, so before the visit, touch point for us, for the museum, are that he knows, he get to know about our new exhibition in the local newspaper, maybe he hears the ad on the radio, or maybe one of his friends recommend that the museum has a new exhibition. What are his pain points before the visit? So he wants to visit our museum. He does not find any contact on our website because maybe it's too complex. Maybe we don't have a phone number, so he cannot call us. And so these are maybe the possible pain points that he's facing before his visit. What are the opportunities for us? Maybe to add a slogan into newspaper ads or radio ads that this exhibition is senior friendly, or this workshop or the talk that we are having is for seniors. Or maybe some big information at the beginning of the website that's easier to find, like if you have a problem, if you have a question, please call us on this number. During the visit, when Janez is in our museum, the first touch point is the info desk, the ticket desk. Then his touch points are different galleries, museums, exhibition spaces, etc. The pain points in the museum for him can be not so easy access to the exhibition spaces. Maybe the path on the heritage side is not paved well, so he walks very difficultly, or he wants to rest during his visit, but the benches are missing. So these are the pain points during his visit. Opportunities for us to improve experience for him. For example, we can add more benches. We can offer him a guided tour so he cannot get lost during the visit. For example, we can rearrange the times of the guided tours. Maybe offer for seniors some guided tours early in the day, not late in the afternoon, because this is just a real case. We really discovered that seniors in Ljubljana like to go to the museums or our guided tours after they are having a coffee in the morning. So afternoon guided tours are not so welcomed by the senior group. And after the visit, for Janez, touch points, maybe he writes review and send us via normal post office a letter, or maybe he talks about it with his friends at the local communities or senior centers. So these are the touch points after the visit for him. Pain points, he maybe not stay in touch with us. He cannot find the program for the next events or the programs because he is not so well known how to use internet. And opportunities for us is that maybe at the spot the guided tour guide can ask him if he wants to leave a contact, maybe a number, maybe an email, or something that we can keep in touch with him. So yeah, this is like a main example of how we can make a journey mapping for seniors. So now that we know that we are having very different types of audiences, it's important for us that we tell the story that is suitable for our audiences. So we have one story, one museum object, and many audiences. So it's important for us to make the story, the heritage relevant and engaging to the audience. I will now go through some of the cases of using digital tools in how we are trying to introduce the story of Roman statue of a Monan guy. This statue is placed in the center of Ljubljana capital in the Central Park. This is a copy, and another copy is also placed in the museum. So we have one object, one item, and several different ways of how present him or his story to the public. So for the experts, let's say, we are having an easy website tool, a platform. So anyone who is interested in more deep information about how the statue was found, how was the restoration processes, any behind the scenes photos, yada yada yada, they can scan QR codes on the exhibition. What we did or what we achieved with this, the exhibition space itself can be not so crowded with many texts, but we only have a main level of short introduction put on the wall, and next to it is a blue square cube with a QR code, so you can dive deeper into the understanding and exploration about a Monan statue. The other solution to tell the story about him is via mobile game. We did this via one European project with also Viminatium and Stobi. So via this mobile app, we are targeting youngsters to actually go on a scavenger hunt as them as a Monan statue, and via gamification and chatting with slaves and chatting with other Roman people in Emona, they actually learn about the story about Emona as the city and Emonan guy itself. Can I continue? Yeah.
It's only you and
So for the families, we still want to use old-fashioned printed guided books with several tasks and riddles and stickers, because the feedback also from the parents and the teachers are in recent times are, please give our scholars or kids something to do with hands and let them put away the phones. And so via these guided books with parents or a guided tour with school, they can know the story about Emona. How can we reach the audience that it's not in the museum, but we want to bring them into the museum and experience the culture in person? We recently got on the TikTok, and we are posting like very short informative videos about culture, about the museum, about its collection. And here is the short example how we wanted to present to the Gen Z generation what a Monan statue is. So why are these tools, why it's important to use the right tools for the right audience? Because otherwise we will not achieve the same effect. I mean, if we only have, I don't know, a mobile app available at the heritage site, we will not satisfy the seniors, we will not satisfy maybe someone who is using older generations of the phones, or etc., etc. So it's important for us, for every single project that we are doing, is it exhibition or just some, workshop or something that we are trying to promote in the public, we have to know what is our audience, and then we are choosing the right tools and then the stories. I will just go briefly to some other practices that we are using in the museum, just to give you an overview. And I just want to say that we are not using so much VR stuff because it's very expensive to produce, it's very expensive to maintain, and we as a public institution cannot afford this type of equipment for now. We only have one VR glasses in Plečnik House to show the people what architect's dream was and what he envisioned in Ljubljana. But on the other sites or exhibition spaces, we don't offer VR experience. So we are still very happy to offer our visitors analog, physical experiences, physical interactive elements. The kids love it, the adults love it, so this is still a good way to present heritage to the public. Another, we have also some games on the digital screens, so the youngsters can play and explore about the topic that is presented on the exhibition spaces. So here are just some examples of different screens in the museum and different types of user experience on the screens. Then we had one let's say communication campaign, I think 2 years ago, about it started when some teacher in Florida was actually fired because the teacher showed to the scholars a photo of Michelangelo's statue of David, and the parents actually said that this is pornography. So school fired the teacher, and it was quite a big discussion in the museum world. And our response to this was that we actually took some of the nude artworks from our collection and put them into the museum atrium as an intervention, the exhibition intervention. And also we animated one artwork with a digital animation, like a fabric falling off of her body. And we put this on all the digital screens around the city in a way that we are trying to reveal the beauty and explore art. And this is totally different than pornography. And you cannot say that statue of David is pornographic material. So it was like some proactive response of the museum to the public. Another quite simple but very nice solution that we are also using is word clouds. We are offering our visitors QR codes on the exhibitions. You can scan a QR code and you will see a pop-up question. What is the first thing that you think about when you see the word, I don't know, Jože Plečnik? And actually people wrote, I know, that he's a genius, that he's an architect, Ljubljana, famous, UNESCO, la 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 la. And at the end of the exhibition, we could actually track what knowledge or what feelings visitors left when they saw the exhibition. And this is also a nice way to engage or to invite visitors to participate in your exhibitions. We are very proud that we are invited by the team of Shape to do this project of AR portraits, because National Gallery of Slovenia and our city museum were the first cultural institutions or museum and galleries in the country that like very publicly put artificial intelligence into the exhibitions. You can scan this QR code and you can see yourself dressed in a traditional Slovenian folk costume. We used this in an exhibition last year where we were presenting how Ljubljanan people dressed in the previous century, and all of these clothes, no people will ever wear these clothes again. So with this AI, we can actually put ourselves into these clothes and see how we would look like. And as Žiga mentioned, after you scan a QR code, you could share this photo with your friends or post it on social. And down below on the image is written that the original is represented in the City Museum of Ljubljana. So this is another way of addressing audiences via visitors. So it's a nice way as well. And a little bit of promotional propaganda material. As I mentioned before, we started a TikTok channel, Culture with a Big Character, where we are trying to present museum objects, exhibitions, events to the Gen Z or the youngster generation, so they can see that museum world is not just this glass box with an item in it, but many more of that.